live. Come on. I don't know if we're live or not. Could be live right now. Will you just check on the stream for us?
I'm just looking at it now. We're not live yet. Okay, we're live.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I cannot see us on the screen.
I can.
At the minute.
I'm waving at myself now.
Right, okay. Well, I'll give it a whirl, but it's not showing up on mine. So, yeah, hello, everyone. Listen, it keeps happening. I don't know what the fuck's going on with OBS, but if there are watchers, creators listening, sort your shit out because, yeah, you keep fucking up the start of our stream. So, good evening, Reds. Welcome to your Thursday night breaking news. I have Sam alongside me today. I'm not going to ask how you are because I think it's pretty obvious, but, yeah, it's going to hurt for a while, this, isn't it?
Yeah, one more game to get out of the way on Sunday, and then, yeah, we don't have to watch that shite anymore until August at least, so we can focus on other things. But yeah, that was. I don't know if you listened to Talk of the Devils. Like, after that, it sounded like Andy Mitten wanted to top himself. Honestly, he just fucking dejected. I was like, I feel you, mate. I feel you.
Happens. He's well connected. He's well invested. So you can imagine, things like that. I said it yesterday on the thing that I did. All the fans that travelled over there. It's just heartbreak for him, and it's heartbreak for us. But imagine spending that much money, and I don't want to bask in that. But we do have things coming out from that which are very interesting. Garnacho's headline with this one. His comments after the game have kind of triggered quite a lot of United fans, and rightfully so. We'll discuss that situation. We've had updates on Ruben Amorim and Bruno Fernandes' future. Players set to leave, which is an interesting list, and also an interesting thing coming out for the Athletic about the employees at Manchester United booing Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers apparently as well. So stick around for that towards the end. We'll get into that kind of article. But yeah, Sam, Alejandro Garnacho makes the headlines again with his post-match comment saying the season was crap. We didn't beat anyone in the league. Can't disagree with that so far, right? And that's pretty spot on.
Yep.
Until I reached the final, I played every round and helped the team. And to play 20 minutes today, I don't know. I'll enjoy the summer, and then we'll see. We also had Romano kind of reporting after this as well that a good proposal for all parties can see Garnacho leave United this summer. And as usual, you had his brother posting all over fucking social media again, whinging about his brother not getting a certain amount of game time and all this fucking shit. Very, very brat-like. For me, I think that's probably the best word to use kind of describe the situation at the minute. Like, we said it in the chat, who the fuck does this guy think he is? The way he's going on, it's like he's won Ballon d'Ors and Champions Leagues, and, the ego over Ronaldo with half the ability. Crazy, innit?
Yeah, and arguably this season, one of our most inconsistent players at best. Like, I can't remember what the stat was you brought a couple of weeks ago, but the amount of conversion rate is shocking. And that's not because he's not had minutes, because he fucking has. Yeah. He's had more minutes than he probably deserves to, just because of lack of other options at the minute that we can play. So obviously that's why we're investing in the likes of Cunha and maybe somebody else. So yeah, he is. Immaturity is the word that comes to mind. You could tell he's 19, can't you?
Yeah.
Because that's the way he's using social media. That's the way he's reacting. Petulance, spoil. That kind of vibe is coming off him in spades. And yeah, if you have those comments, you want to say them, fair enough, but don't put it out right after the final. Like literally after we just put in a shite performance in one of our worst seasons ever, and that's when you decide to put it out. Obviously it's for impact and he wants maximum exposure and impact. I understand the time, but if you actually give a shit about the team and the fans, why would you do that? And this is not the first time he's done it. Let's not forget. He's got a history of doing this shit. He's put some stuff on social media before and deleted it. He's liked certain posts. He's done other things. There was a rumor that the leaking was from Garnacho's brother. Now, whether that was substantiated or not, I don't know. But that was another thing that was going on. So, yeah, there's a lot of issues with this kid outside of football and on the pitch, and I don't like to comment on people's personal lives most of the time, because most of the time it's none of my business, but when it relates to the game and the football and stuff like that, like, that's an issue, man. And I just think, what good comes from social media for any footballer?
Never.
Like, name me a positive. I don't
No.
see any positives to come from it. Like, it just seems like it always either gets him in shit or they receive toxic abuse. There's no point to it to me. I just don't understand.
It's a sense of entitlement for me from players. Like Jadon Sancho's another thing as well. Like where he's taking social media and going at the manager and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, can you not just be fucking professional? Like Emmanuel Ugarte had been featured in the same games as Garnacho. Yep. Right? He'd been in the semi-finals. He'd helped the team quarter-final. He didn't get a fucking minute. He didn't even get on the pitch. And you don't hear anything from him. Because you know what you should do as a professional? You should look at it and go, do you know what? If he's not going to play me, I'm going to fucking train even harder and work harder and make sure I get myself in that team and make sure I'm undeniable. That's what you should do as a footballer. Not the easy way out where you pander into a certain section of the fan base where you're putting stuff out there and going, oh, well, you know, basically what he's saying is, I should have definitely played. In his head, I'm one of the best players.
I would have won it. We would have won if I played. Blah, blah, blah.
That's what he's thinking. He's not put his full beliefs out there, but you can imagine the way he goes on, the way he looks at himself. He looks up to Cristiano Ronaldo, and you know there are traits of that you can admire for the hard work and wanting to be perfect and wanting to be the best. And I love that. I love that from him because he is relentless and he does work hard. But the ego can only work with that and come with that if you're delivering on the pitch.
Do you know what Ronaldo also had? Discipline. Like, he had discipline. Like, he was the first one in the gym. He was the last one out of there. And he performed on the pitch. And he put it out there. Like, he was disciplined in the way he approached the game. Garnacho doesn't seem that disciplined to me. Like, he's been done several times for showing up late for meetings and not on team buses. He's been dropped for that under Ten Hag. He's been dropped for that under Ten Hag, under Ollie. He got dropped. I don't know what it was for. Was it effort in training? Him and Rashford got dropped for the City derby. Was that what the reason was?
Something like that, yeah.
So he's clearly not taking it very seriously, because if he's been dropped by 3 different managers, that says to me that's a pattern. That's a pattern of behaviour. That's not a one-off. That's a pattern of behaviour.
Was Garnacho under all that? I don't think he was. I don't think Garnacho was under all that.
Didn't he get some starts under Ollie? Did he get a couple of initial things?
I don't know, because Ten Hag, do you think Ten Hag was there for 3 seasons, right?
I remember reading a story about Garnacho was supposed to get a call up, and then Ollie wasn't a fan of the attitude or something like that.
Maybe. I remember I don't know.
Anyways, officially 2 managers have gone. You're dropped. Same thing with Rashford. Rashford got dropped twice by 2 different managers. Like, pattern of behaviour forming here.
From
Sancho's another one
as well. Yeah, Sancho's
another one. There's a patterns of behaviour in these types of players. Very talented, clearly have got ability, but behaviour-wise and mentally or whatever it is, can't focus and be a professional.
Yeah.
And instead of getting rid of those, and I don't want to get into the whole should a Scott McTominay stay or not, but you get rid of someone like Scott McTominay, who ability-wise isn't anywhere near them, but professionally, work-wise, effort, 100%, like, absolutely there. And obviously they sold him for PSR reasons. I get that. Like, I don't saying they don't. So, but like, to me, in my head, they're the guys that you should be selling, and then he should be the ones that you'd be keeping hold of. So, to me, I think he signed his exit with that outburst. I think that's the latest in a long line of outbursts, and after the season we've had, I just don't see how he comes back from that. I really don't.
How can you have a 20-year-old kid coming in and doing that? Like, I know he's played a lot of minutes for United, and I know he's pretty much featured in every single game, but let's be fair, that's because we've had no other option, really. We can't use him as an impact sub because there was no one else. The debate about whether Mount should have started and that kind of stuff, like, people, I think Amroim replied to this actually and said, on the flip side of it, when I started Garnacho, people were saying I should have started Mount. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You know, he was getting moaned at either way.
Like, we've had comments on our social media saying, oh, Mount should have started. If you look at Bilbao, Mount was arguably one of the best players. That 30 minutes that he had,
unbelievable.
He earned his right, I would say. He earned his right to be in that team. Like, he played extremely well. He earned his right.
The system better than Garnacho does. 100%.
And then people said, oh, Luke Shaw shouldn't have started. Who else is there?
Yeah.
Lissandro's not available.
Yeah.
Do you want to put
Heaven's
Lindelof there?
had 10 minutes as well. Lindelof was awful.
And Heaven is 18 years old in his first season. He's played, about 4 or 5 games for us total? Yeah. And you want to throw him in a final? Like, you know what I mean? Do you want to throw Fredrickson in? Yeah. And then, nobody wants Lindelof there. So who else he's supposed to put there? So I don't understand these people saying, oh, the selection was wrong. okay, give me alternatives, because they brought Garnacho on. He didn't really affect. He looked bright, but he didn't really affect the game.
No. He had the other, like, moment, didn't he? But that was kind of it.
Yeah.
Let's see what everyone else is saying, because I don't want it to be a two-way conversation. I appreciate people have different opinions on this Garnacho situation, so let's just get into him. Brian K said, if you are just joining, by the way, please do smash the like in the video and subscribe to the channel. 14,870 subscribers, 130 or 15k. So if you are new, takes 2 seconds. Would really appreciate it. I've had nothing but negativity on TikTok today. There's like 25,000 Liverpool fans in the comment section saying, you're dead, you're buried, and da-da-da. It'd be nice to get some positivity. Brian Casey saying, after the Instagram post from his brother and the interview where he said he should be starting because he got us to the final, he needs to be moved on at all costs. Get that ego out of the club. You are not, nor will you ever be CR7. Gems is in the chat as well. Big up Gems TV. Hello to you, sir. Mark Palmer saying, I agree with Garnacho to a point. I'd be annoyed if I was him. Gems TV as well saying, just seeing that we have 100 mil plus other money from sales from the scrap of the team, we could actually change the whole view in one small year. Let's do that. I'll get into the transfer window momentarily. Moondog, I've not seen that name for a bit. I hope you're good, brother. Presuming you are a man. Genuinely think you losing the best thing could. What? Genuinely think you're losing the best thing that could have happened. No European football means you won't get any more Casemiro washed up money grabbing players, and all the waste will want out this summer. Is there a point to that, Sam? Is there a silver lining perhaps on the horizon?
No, I saw that. Who was it on our Instagram? Owens something. He always comments on our stuff. He's fantastic. I like interacting with him. He always comments on our thing and shares our stuff, so he's a good lad. But he commented on it like straight after the result when I put the final score up and said, the one positive is we don't have to worry about multiple games a week and Amroim gets time on the training pitch next year, which is what he's been asking for all year, because he doesn't get anything, because it's a game on Thursday and then a game on Sunday, recovery, and then by the time it's like they get time for the next game, and he's just not had any period to embed his tactics and stuff. And I replied, I was like, mate, it's too early to think about positive this minute. I'll think about it tomorrow. So yeah, I get it. Like, yeah, that is a positive, and maybe it does weed out the people who are just here for a pay rise or a paycheck, and they can fuck off as well. And we just get people in who want to be here, which I'm always here for. I don't want to see people like, oh, we need to sign Osman, we need to sign that. If they don't want to be here, I don't fucking want them here. That's as simple as that. That's why I'm at United at this point. People are like, oh, we need to challenge for this. Next year, we need to be just looking at staying in the top half. Yeah, that should be the goal next year, because
the is crazy to think right at the minute the way we are. But this is the reality. Exactly the rebuild we've been waiting for years. We can actually start now. Andy in the chat saying, I'm more angry today just with everything. The fact Ineos are making them play another 2 games after Villa for £8 million. Everything is money driven under Ineos. We'll definitely get into the story about Ineos as well towards the end from the employees. I think that's a very interesting thing. Charlie Mama said Garnacho has played for 4 seasons. He got 3 games in 21-22 season under Ole. Is that Ole 21-22?
Yeah.
Right, so there was 3 games there. Fair enough.
I remember he got fed in a little bit, but apparently he should have got way more. But he had behavioural issues apparently. I think that's
interesting. I remember that with Bruno as well. There was something with him, wasn't there? We had to have a word with him. Do you remember in pre-season?
Yeah.
Something to do there as well. So, yeah. Danny's saying, if Amroim came in before Ten Hag, he would still have had De Gea, Ronaldo and co. and been levels on Onana and Højlund. Every Ten Hag signing failed in some way. Is that almost Ten Hag's recruitment on its own has destroyed a lot of this club, hasn't it?
It set us back a long time. Like, you think about the recruitment, especially before Ineos came in, you had Wilcox and people like that. Because I think had they been there when the Anthony thing was happening, they would have pushed back and said, we're not spending 70 million on this kid. We're not doing it. Whereas they didn't have that. They had John Murta, Richard Ardo, very inexperienced in that field. The financial bankers, essentially.
Yeah.
They didn't push back because they're like, oh, the manager knows best, so we'll just do what he says. And then he pushed for Onana, even though other keepers, I believe, were suggested. But he was like, no, I want Onana. Yeah. That was one of the one. And it's the manager
that alone cost us the Champions League group stage. Onana, didn't it?
And then Højlund, 70 million for essentially a striker who should not be leading our
70
line at
mil.
number 9. Like, if you paid 30 million for him and he was a backup to a Harry Kane or somebody like that, you're like, and he didn't work, you'd be like, all right, he's
Okay,
not quite
move
there.
him on.
Cool,
Yeah.
move him on. But you've paid 70 million for him and then you didn't bring in anybody else, so he's the only one leading the line. And that's what
£70 million.
happens. Yeah. So that recruitment, and then look at Mason Mount. Again, I like Mason Mount, but 65 million on a guy who is out of contract the year later and he's been injured for the majority of his career at United.
Yeah, bad.
So there's like, what, 200 million already, and I've not even talked about other players. 240 million, sorry.
Anthony.
I've not even...
Did you mention Anthony?
So Anthony, Mount, and then Onana, Højlund. That's 240 million. 240 million before I've even touched the likes of like other players like Casemiro's wages and all that sort of stuff. Like 240 million nowadays could get you like 3 or 4 really top level players, and they'll fit into the team.
You don't even need like that much money either.
No, I mean, but that would get you really good players.
Oh yeah, for sure. You look at Liverpool, they've signed. Well, if the Frimpong deal goes through, they've signed McAllister, they've signed Frimpong, they've signed like other kind of attacking. Cody Gakpo, I think, was 30 million as well. Like them three players.
Salah was 30 million.
Yeah, for 30 million each. You're talking about. McAllister's one of the best midfielders in the fucking Premier League.
Andy Robertson was what, about 14 million?
Yeah, from
arguably their best fullback for a long time.
Mad how much recruitment has genuinely destroyed this club. Honestly, it's so bad. And Ten Hag is, a big fault for it. And the people above him, by the way, as well. John Merton, Richard Arnold are there as to blame.
And then Woodward before him with Sancho and players like that as well. Same, all culpable.
Shocking. Danny's saying Garnacho's 20. No kid has a right to start at United. Who is even Yamal levels? Better elite players benched. He's missed multiple chances all season. Amorim was right. No player's been level. We mentioned this before when we've done a show about Garnacho. There is a talent there. He's a talented kid. Look, he's got in all comps. I think he's had 10 goals and 10 assists or something. I think, right. So it's a pretty good return and it's a slight improvement on what he's doing. But if you actually look at his conversion rate, it's like 6% in the league. The kid has had nearly 100 shots, I think, in the Premier League, and has converted 6 of them.
Didn't he have more shots than anyone? Like it
was close. It was in like the top brackets anyway. And do you know what I mean? So there's a lot to improve for him. He seems to think he's the finished article already, and he's fucking no way near it. He's got loads of comments. Sorry, Ali Adwiai says Amorim has to go. Garnacho better players, been looked down by Amorim. Amorim has to go. Absolute nonsense. Virtual Signal says, how can you spend $1 billion on a new stadium when you're in massive debt? Because the stadium will pay for its self-service and it'll pay for itself in that sense.
And a big sponsor will pay for the majority of it. Yes. We won't pay for it. So they'll get their naming rights above the stadium and they'll pay for it. That's how it works.
Modric is free. We need a team leader. Give him a call. No. I love Luka Modric, but
physicality is such a key thing in the Premier League.
He'd get broken. Look at Casemiro. We're not learned from our mistakes. Jesus. Team is incredibly soft, so physically, no fight, no intensity, no Europe. Maybe we see 12, 15 leave in summer. Small squad for only domestic competitions. Hugh McNeely says, must have been a slap in the face for Garnacho when he saw Mount starting ahead of him, but he needs to realise that his best performances have been from the bench. If he goes, it's a win-win. That's a really good point as well from Hugh.
Yeah.
There is a lot of people, United fans, who seem to think he is better off the bench in it as an impact player. I've seen that quite a lot.
I agree. I think he's a really good player to bring on to run at tired legs and tired defenders, because that's the last thing, as a fullback or a centre back, the last thing you want is a player like Garnacho running directly at you, quick, able to sort of switch between things. When you've already played 60, 70 minutes, you don't want that shit. So he's a great player to have off the bench, but clearly his ego and the way he thinks he should be starting week in, week out. And under Ten Hag, he did. He sat there 38 games or something in a row.
He's played like 3,000 odd minutes per season, and then even
as
more
as a young player, you shouldn't be doing that. A young player shouldn't be playing that amount of minutes. Like, if you look at the history of the way Fergie brought in players and stuff, he'd drip feed them in. He'd be like, right, you get 2-3 games here, and then you come out of the team for 4 games. There's another 2-3 games or a couple of substitute appearances. That's how he developed players. We just get a young player. Oh, he's fantastic. Run him into the fucking ground until he falls apart. That's how we run players. Like, it's so disappointing, man.
I don't like the idea either of selling players that have come through Carrington. I think it should be sacred. It should be something that we keep hold on to. But the reality of the situation is at the moment, and I even saw a couple of people, and people of respect, by the way, as well, moaning that Mainu should have got more minutes, which, okay, I get 8, 10, 15, 20, maybe he should have got a little bit more. But let's be honest, even in this system as well, what has Mainu done? Bar the goal against Leon, he's looked completely lost. Completely
he's
lost.
Not had a good season. He's not had a good season.
No.
I
love him.
I don't think we should sell him because I think his ego isn't out of control. I think he had that fantastic season in Ten Hag and for England, which there is a good player there. Definitely. He did it consistently. I just think he's had a bad season. He's had a couple of injuries this season, and he's struggled. But I don't think we should sell him. I think there's a good player there.
I agree. But Garnacho now, I was starting to sway and be on the fence with him.
Yeah.
And when I'm going to see these things now. Last night, I was raging because of the result anyway. And then I saw that quote after it. I thought, who the fuck do you think, you entitled bastard, you little brat?
Yeah, fuck off.
Who on earth do you think you are coming out after the game and acting like you're some, superstar? You got given the platform because of Manchester United. You got given the opportunity because of Manchester United. If you don't like it, fuck off. That's what I'd say. So yeah, that's enough on Garnacho. I don't know how much we're going to get through him in the summer, but we know clubs are interested. He probably knows he's got options there as well. Let's just hope that he moves on because I can't be asked for any more of this drama. I think it's ridiculous.
No.
Let's talk about Ruben Amorim's future then, and Bruno Fernandes. Sam, there's a couple of updates from Ben Jacobs and Fabrizio Romano. Ruben Amorim retains the backing of the Manchester United board, and the club are not expected to make a change this summer, despite the result last night. He also wants Bruno Fernandes to stay. Bruno has a big offer from Saudi Arabia. Let's see what the club decides after the quotes from him saying if the club opens the door for his exit, he will leave. I'm not sure. Did you see them quotes from Bruno? Take it you have.
Yeah. I saw them. Yeah.
And so yeah, what do we do now with this Saudi bid looming? You know, we need money in the summer, but it still doesn't feel like they'll ever get rid of Bruno Fernandes, does it? Just with him being the captain of the club and what he's done. But there is this kind of passing window now. What do you do?
I think that comment is. I think people took it the wrong way. I think he's basically saying he will sacrifice himself for the club so they can get funds, so they can rebuild this team. That's what it seems like he's saying to me. Like, if they can cash in on me and be a better team, then I will go. I don't think he actively wants to leave. I wouldn't blame him, to be honest, if he did, because look at the state of us.
Yeah.
I don't think he actively wants to go, and obviously Ruben Amroim wants to keep him. But if they say they come in with a stupid offer, how do you turn that down?
But then
how do you turn it down?
How will that money be spent? Can
obviously the money needs to be spent wisely and invested in the proper way and stuff like that. Obviously that's the case because I think under John Murta, Richard Arnold, I wouldn't trust them with a fucking fiver. Never mind 200 million or whatever it is they pay for the thing. But I think with Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada, I think they're a lot smarter. I think they're a lot better. And I think they would invest it wisely. But obviously, you still got the Glazers there. And it's like, are they going to take a chunk of that? Are they going to take a piece of it? That worries me as well. So, yeah. It's like when you hand your money over to the government for your taxes. It's like, are they going to actually spend it on hospitals and schools, or are they going to back some of this shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, in an ideal world, it would be really, really good, but we don't live in the ideal world. So it's,
The one slight positive I can find with recruitment is I think the two best players last night, and I don't know if I said this on the post-match review, was Yoro and Dorgu, probably. Yep. I mean, you clutched at straws because it wasn't a great performance, but those two looked like they was trying something, and they was both players who was recruited under any.
Had De Ligt been fit, I think he would have been in there as well. I think De Ligt has had a very good season. Shaw can fuck off. De Ligt, I think, has been really good this season. Igati, there's question marks.
Yeah, that's
I think
one where I'm like,
Xerxes, there's question marks. I think there is some uses for him, but there is question marks. But I think De Ligt, Yoro, Dorgu, I think have been good signings. Which
is already an improvement on our windows anyway. Because let's be honest, who has worked out of anyone we've brought in? You know,
Bruno.
three. You could push it to Ronaldo probably in his first season, Zlatan when he came in on a free, and then Bruno. Really, who've worked out. So if you get a couple right in the window, it's a fucking start. It's not the best, but it's something. Bruno, after losing that, I do worry. They might be tempted to take the offer. Whether I would do it right now or not, I actually don't know.
Has to be stupid money. Has to be. Like,
Yeah,
has to
I
be.
really want to
Has to
keep
be.
him.
Yeah, I
I'm
do.
like,
I do.
It's difficult.
But like, if they offer stupid money like 200 million, and then you could go out and just restructure this whole team, plus the 100 million of whatever we can spend, that's 300 million. You can go out and get Mastuano and Jokeres and whoever. Like, you just go out and get these players that you want and you need to rebuild this team. Like, it helps tremendously. But again, at the same time, without Bruno, how much quality is in this team? Because he basically saved us from relegation this season without him. So, yeah.
Because I was saying him last night though, I know I'm repeating myself here, but I was so disappointed in that performance from him yesterday. He was really, really, really bad. Probably one of the worst I've seen him, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's so surprising because the praise I've had for him, which you saw literally before the game, was huge. What he was doing in some of the games, and like, what was that record from January? Like an assist and a goal every single game, week in, week out, delivering. After Roy Keane obviously sparked that thing up. And last night I watched him. How many times did he give the ball away? In really important, like the first goal comes.
He gave the ball on the halfway line, didn't he?
Yeah.
He gave the ball away on the halfway line,
and he kept doing it. He kept doing it, and I'm like, really
so
let
many
down.
players though. So many players didn't show up yesterday. Like senior players as well. Like senior players, like Bruno didn't show up. Mount, who's been in the Champions League final, and he knows what it's about. He didn't show up. Shaw, who's been in multiple finals, didn't show up. Maguire knows what it's about.
It was the youngsters who were
fucking Onana. It's been in the Champions League final 2 years ago. I don't get it. I really don't understand it.
Yeah, it's mad. We better hope Italy are up for some of our players this summer. Like if we can send Onana back, Højlund. Just basically, if you've got the receipt, send them back to wherever they came from in Italy, because, we need some sales, man. Sorry, back to the comments section, and then we'll discuss the next kind of bit. How toxic is Old Trafford going to be this weekend? These players aren't going to turn up, and the crowd is going to get nasty. When we get crushed, the summer is going to be negative. I said, I don't know if you agree with this, Sam. I said if I might try and get a ticket to the game and go there myself, I wouldn't even create an atmosphere.
Just turn your back. Just turn around.
I'd be quiet. I make sure the stadium was silent, so they'd know they're playing in a stadium. And you're like, why are we giving them anything? You know, they return home and they're expecting a bit of a welcome. Like, fuck that.
I don't even want to buy a ticket because I don't want to give my money to watch that shit.
Yeah, that as well.
Like, that's what I'm at. I just don't want to get like. I'm lucky because I get my ticket off a person who's got season tickets, so I don't pay the 60 quid that they charge other people.
Yeah.
But still, I don't want to pay it to watch that shit. Like, who wants to pay to watch that? Like, it's horrible to watch. Like, and then they have the cheat to charge more money for it. Like, it's disgusting, man. It really is fucking disgusting.
We need to sell unused players before Bruno, Rashford, Sancho, Anthony Malacia, Garnacho, bring in 140 mil. Lindelof, Evans, Ericsson gone. This team needs to be bought. Let's dive into that, because there has been a list that's been released. It's coming from the Mirror. Disco Mirror, it's called. I don't even know what that is, but yeah.
David McDonnell, I think his name.
Okay. David McDonnell, there we have it. So apparently Man United will listen to offers for all players this summer. United are also desperate to offload Marcus Rashford, Anthony and Jadon Sancho, with the latter set to return from Chelsea. United could also, these are the players that are going as well. Johnny Evans retired, Christian Eriksen being released, Lindelof as well, Malacia. Fucking hell. Malacia coming back, which a lot of people forgot about. Onana, Rasmus, Garnacho, and these other players, Sam and you threw in the list as well, like Shaw and Mount, you probably get rid of as well. How big is this summer? My God.
The problem is, as well, some of those players you're going to struggle to get rid of. Like Shaw and Mount. Who do you sell them to?
Nah.
Like, do you want an injury-prone player who's on massive wages? Who's buying that shit? Like, nobody's buying that.
You won't sell him. Won't happen.
You struggle, and then same with Casemiro. Like, I know he's been decent in Europe this season, but he didn't show up either in the final. He was poor. How do you sell Casemiro? Like, do you want this player who's past his best and he's on 350k a week?
Yeah.
Like,
and he's already said, there was an article coming out, I think it was from The Athletic, who was talking about, he's already said he's staying basically for another seat. He's happy in Manchester. Onana, same as well, saying he's happy in Manchester. And I'm just like, oh my God, fuck off. Like, if you've not got the message from the fans, like, with all due respect, Andre, we don't want you as a goalkeeper. Like, you have been crap.
It's a lot easier to take that criticism when you sat there counting 200k a week at home in your mansion, innit? Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to have
Yeah,
that
yeah.
criticism and just be like, I'll. Jadon Sancho was happy to sit on the bench for how long? Like 6-8 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Embarrassing,
wasn't
really, innit?
interested in playing because you're on 300k a week. Of course, he's like, well, I don't have to do anything. I'm getting my money anyway. Who cares? Like, that's the team's full of them. Team's full of those players.
Josie has sent in a super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much, mate. Saying only sound should be Glazers, Ineos out all game. I would equally be up for that as well.
I
But
agree.
I just think I think silence would hit a lot more. You know, like that eerie feeling when you walk in and they're not singing, you know, "Take Me Home," "Country Road."
No,
It's just eerie silence. I'd love that. I think they deserve it. I can't even read that name. Taha, sorry, I thought it said Tatton then. Taha says the board should either fully back Amrin or just sack him. No half-assing here. If you back him, you got to purge the entire squad and spend lots of money to get the multiple players he needs.
On that, before you move on, I wanted to bring this up. I agree. Like, I don't want another Ten Hag situation. I don't want you spend all this money and then you sack him at Christmas.
Oh God!
Because then we're just just continuing this thing. So either back him fully and give him the season, no matter what, or sack him now.
Yeah.
Don't do what you do with Ten Hag, because then we're just writing another season off again. Like, I fully Taha, you get a comment of the week, because I totally agree with that.
I do you know what? I think there was a lot of weight in the players' comments last night. I don't usually say that because a lot of it is bollocks and the same. Yeah. We'll try again. We'll be here again.
Sorry, we'll do it.
The usable kind of recyclable shit that you hear from him, right? But there was weight in it when he was talking about Amorim. Every single player was like, "Trust me, he is the right guy to take this club forward. He knows exactly what we need." Casemiro, Bruno, Shaw, all these players were saying it, and even Shaw was like, "We're not good enough for this club." Like, and it's obvious, isn't it?
Well, he questioned it, didn't he? He said we have to question whether we're good enough.
And there isn't a question, because let's be honest, Luke.
I'll answer it, Luke.
Yeah,
I'll answer it. No.
Yeah, you've been here a decade. He was here under Van Gaal, Mourinho, Ole, Ragnick, Ten Hag, Ruud. Like, you've been here through so many managers, and the problems are still there. The exact same problems. So that tells me it's the players, mate. Like, it's
and some of these players should not be here. Lindelof should still not be at this club. He should not be here. Why is he still here? Why is he running out his contract? Why have we not shifted him? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, he's still here. Like, honestly, I cannot believe. Like, I think had like the likes of John Mercer, which I got away, David De Gea probably still be here, and other players still be here. Do you know what I mean? Just racking up massive wages and just fucking playing piss pot. Like, it's honest to God, runs so badly.
We're getting closer to the weekend, and as we get closer, the dark cloud, should I say, is starting to form over Old Trafford. There is going to be protests. There was already planned protests anyway against the Glazers.
Yeah, there was,
having gone out the Europa League in the way we did last night, I'm sure the players are going to get a really bad reaction as well. And not only just that, apparently, this is from the Athletic, so it would have been well sourced. United screened the Europa League final at an event for employees, family, and coach last night, and when Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Avram Glazer appeared on the screen, boos rang out among the 1,000-strong crowd once during the game and then again at full time. You also saw frosty handshakes with, I think it was Avram and Rio and Scholes and some of the players and stuff. It feels like it's becoming very apparent in the minute. Sir Jim is being tied with the same brush as the Glazers, and he needs to be careful with that, doesn't he?
That's what they wanted, the Glazers, though, wasn't it? It's exactly what they wanted.
Yeah.
They have got, from this, they have, like, say what you want about him, and they are scum and parasites. Sorry. Excuse me. But in business, they have done a fucking amazing thing, haven't they? Like, they've bought a club with no money, loaded the debt onto the club, and extracted the shit from it. Extracted it for the last 20 years. They've then brought in an investor and gone, you know what, you take all the flack, you take over football stuff, because we're not really interested in that. You take all the flack for all the decisions made. You fire all those people. You take the bullshit and all the criticism that comes with it, and we'll just sit over here and count our money. I've some of the smartest business people in the fucking history of the world. Like, it's ridiculous how good it is. It's ridiculous
to do it. If you listen to, I think Talk of the Devils did a really good. I don't know if you listened to it.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
a 2-part thing on how it all happened. I think I would employ anyone to go listen to that. Really, really good. And the fact it was over a horse basically. with JP McManaman and Sir Alex Ferguson. It's just crazy the way it went.
Also, B Sky B was not allowed to buy United because of conflict of interest, but a family was allowed to buy us with no money and unload it with debt. Yeah. Like, tell me how that makes sense.
And do you know what? That makes sense. Where we are right now is because of them. Like, as much as you want to make out it's the players, and it is, and people question the manager, and I get that as well. The reason we're at this point and we're so destroyed and broken is because it's been allowed to go this far. And we are reaping the shit, if that's even a sentence I can say at the moment. I've just got a vision of like just the Glazers using Sir Jim Ratcliffe as like a riot shield and just bare shit being flung at him, and they're just sat there smiling like, this is great. It's great. You know,
they're probably just like, and they're like, is there a noise? No? All right, cool. Just keep counting the money. Keep counting the money.
That's all they're asked about, innit? Look, there is quite a few viewers in the chat, so listen, this is your time now, in the kind of last 5 minutes of the show. Anything you want to debate, any opinions that you want to throw out there, questions, literally anything at all, get them in the chat.
I'll even take questions that are non-football related, because honestly, Talk About United is fucking bullshit right now. Absolutely. So if you want to throw in random questions, please do.
Yeah, I'm all for that. We did put a poll up at the start of the show, which had 69 votes saying, would you sell Garnacho in the summer? 74% said yes, and 26% said no. So it seems like the general consensus is that people want him gone, which I totally understand. Pat May saying, put all these shit players on ground duties if we can't sell them. Joe saying silence would be ideal, but the execs need to face the brunt of the fan backlash if they even show up. Wouldn't put it past them to not be there for the final home game. They all need to be shamed. Gray saying sell him ASAP. Get it done, Jim. Gamer TV saying an agreement's been reached between United and Wolves for Cunha. Personal terms agreed last week. Not playing in the Champions League is not a problem. At least we won't have to see Amorim do 30 interviews a week next season. Guy was on TV more than the training pitch. Yeah.
What was it, like 491 interviews he did? Madness. Absolute. How's that been allowed to happen? How's that? Like,
it is annoying, isn't it? Like,
ridiculous.
I always feel awkward now. I can't watch the interviews because I'm like, you can just tell like, he just can't be arsed. Like,
he don't want to be there. Like, he literally
I do think
be there.
They are. I don't know if it's encroaching or the right word, but they are kind of pushing a little bit too much now in the media with certain things. You're seeing things now like halftime interviews, dressing room interviews, coming into effects next season. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
see, journalists are taking liberties as well. Like, obviously, we saw it this year with was it Luckhurst and Chris Wheeler? Did they the ones that get banned under Ten Hag?
No, it was Rob Dawson and Luckhurst.
Rob Dawson. Yeah. So they're taking liberties, and then there was that guy who was with Ange, who was basically calling him a clown and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not a clown, mate.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, go in and ask incisive questions or interesting questions. Don't go in to cause clickbait so you can get your fucking quote. Like, it's so irritating. Like, it's the same shit every week. Like, and ask a different question, please. Yeah. Ask something different. It'd be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Taha saying, what are we feeling about Bruno? The idea of selling him to Saudi is just so wrong to me. He's easily been our best player this past season. I mean, we did kind of brush on it before, but I don't know. I'm genuinely on the fence about this because, one, I don't think you can replace him. I think it's very, very, and I'm not saying that like Pep did with fucking Aguero when he starts crying. I don't think we can replace him. I think it'd be really, really hard in this market where we are in the league to bring in a player of his caliber. And I think you would miss him a lot more than people realise. There would be a giant hole there.
For sure.
You remember sometimes when he's been dropped and you're like, oh, right, okay.
Where's the creation coming from? Where's the chance coming from? Because nobody else is making one.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
That's why he plays every game, right? We understand. So I wouldn't want to lose that. And right now, as I know the recruitment with Yoro and Dorgu, like we was alluding to before, has got a little bit better. But I wouldn't trust right now to get in a really good replacement. So unless it was, I think what Sam said, an astronomical amount, I'd probably turn it down. But what is that? What's the figure?
I'd say 150 million plus. Anything above that, I think that's...
Surely they wouldn't even offer that, though, would they? 150 mil plus.
I mean, they were talking about paying him, what is it, like $1.5 million a week or something? Is it that what they were offering him? So, God knows. Like,
I mean, I'd say that is the point where I would probably go, that's a full window, basically. How can you turn that down for a player who's,
exactly.
30
that's
years
what
old
I mean.
now, isn't it?
It has to be stupid money. Like if it's like they're going 60, 70 million, then no, go away. Like not interested.
Yeah.
But if you're at stupid money point, then it has to be a consideration. With Garnacho, it's like if it's 60 million, I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but in terms of like PSR and because he's an academy player, that basically equates to 120 million spend.
Yeah.
So that's where it differs, whereas you wouldn't get that with Bruno. So I'd want stupid money if to get rid of Bruno.
Yeah. Any more questions? Get them in. Charlie's saying, I do not want to lose Bruno, but we might have to and sell him to fund this summer. Andy's saying, I'd let Bruno ride off into the sunset. He doesn't need this crap at his age. Go win a big thing or get a mega payday. I mean, that as well, on top of it, he does deserve a big payday, doesn't he? You know, those kind of contracts don't come very often. So
that's why so many players, like you think, Ruben Neves and Neymar and stuff like that. That's why they've gone there. It's like they've not gone there to further their careers. They've gone there to take the massive payout.
Yeah, I'm going Saudi because I want to win the Saudi Cup.
Like, the SPL. Like, no, they've gone there because it sets them up, their families, their children, their grandchildren up for the rest of their lives with that pay. And can you blame them? Like, I certainly can't. I wouldn't criticize them for doing it. Like, I get it, but that's what it comes down to. I've just seen who replaces Bruno. I think you'd have to buy about 3 players.
Yeah.
You'd have to buy 3 players to replace him, all honesty. Like, I don't think there's one player that embodies everything that he does. I really don't. So I think you'd have to get 2-3 players.
When the first initial bid, Kate, or whatever it was, when the news broke, we was on the live together, weren't we? And I think we both said, like, Cole Palmer is the only player where it would ease the blow of losing Bruno Fernandes, I think.
Yeah.
Because you've even just seen City drop out the race for Florian Wirtz. And you know, they've got money to spend and they say it's too expensive. Yeah. So players like that, who aren't even guaranteed, by the way, to hit the ground running either in the Premier League, it's very, very difficult to bring in another Bruno Fernandes. He's a jackpot kind of player. And there's a lot of other clubs who are in a far better position than us as well, kind of to add on to that.
Look at Bruno, like, never injured. How many players can say that? There's not many. There's not many players who can say they're never injured. The consistency of his goals and assists, like likes of Kevin De Bruyne and people like that come to mind. Yeah. But he doesn't have the injury record that Bruno has. Yeah. Leadership, it's a hard trait to find. Like, so many different qualities in one player. Yeah. Very difficult to find.
Rare. It is a rare. Danny's saying we need Bruno out. Can't not take 150 million for a 31-year-old in September. Yeah. Liam Jones has put, please look up Naomi Klein. She wrote a book about the Glazers. Vulture capitalists such as the Glazers. I'll definitely check that out. Yeah. Let me type that up.
List.
Yeah. Naomi. Yeah. What was the name? Klein. Glazers. I will 100%
Lucky Singh wants Sulemana from Southampton and Angel Gomez, Visser and Cunha. That's an expensive window, my friend. Yeah. That's a very I do like Visser, window.
I must admit. Visser and Bernard, I'd probably take any of them. I think he's had an incredible
I'd take him, definitely, but it's going to be expensive.
And played in a similar system as well, haven't they, under Thomas Frank, like that kind of 4-2, 4-3, whatever you want to call it.
It's really sad, isn't it, how you look at every single forward line in the Premier League is better than ours.
Yeah, apart from the ones who are relegated, I would probably say.
That says it all, doesn't it? The ones that went down, they're the only ones.
Even like you go to Palace, you look at Mateo, Eze, Sarr, you're like, wow.
They're better. That's better. I think West Ham, I don't think. Tottenham, 50-50.
Yeah, so I mean, they've got a striker that's just in Solanke who's far better than Højlund, so they probably win just off that anyway. So,
but then everybody else is better. Wolves is better. Brentford is better. Like Brighton is better. Bournemouth is better. They're all better. Yeah, it's sad.
Painful.
It's really sad
for a team like United as well. You think about the attacking players that we've had. Jesus Christ. Daddy's saying Cunha and Cherki in the 10s is pure creativity. Who look for runners and strikers and only 80 mil. Yep. Pray Amrin can convince Gyökeres and frontline is set for years. The Cherki thing I agree with. We said this the other day.
It's an opportunity, that, isn't it? That's an opportunity. You have to go.
Why not even chucking your hat in there? And obviously, he's just played at Old Trafford. The effect is like, do you know what I mean? Sorry.
Much like Bruno with the price, like if they offer stupid money, you have to take the opportunity. The fact that Cherki is available for that cheap and he's that young, Like you have to take that opportunity, because even if it does, say it doesn't work out, like say he doesn't perform to the level we think he do, you've only paid 20 odd million for him.
Exactly.
Like,
And there'll be a resale for him as well.
Exactly.
You know
He's
what I mean?
22, he's 21, 22. Like, you can sell him again for like 25, 30 million. Like,
these deals that come up 20 to 30 mil, we just spoke about Gakpo and McAllister. Like, do him. Do him. Fucking hell. Like, it's not going to work out worse than Højlund or Anthony, is it? So why not, take a punt? Look, we'll leave it at that, guys, because look, I'm still quite depressed over that game last night, and I don't want to overdo it. So yeah, I mean, we will have a preview tomorrow for the Aston Villa game. I'm not sure what that preview is going to consist of, to be honest with you. But
what's the point?
It's the last game. It's just
yeah.
We'll probably just have a laugh more than anything. So it'd be nice of you to come and join us on that. For all the news surrounding. The aftermath of the game, Garnacho's comments, transfer news, literally minute by minute updates. Instagram, follow us on Instagram. It's popping off over on there in a minute. TikTok, the clip that we just dropped of the review. I mean, there is quite a lot of hate in there from the Liverpool fans.
If you're a United fan, come fight the Liverpool fans. Back us up.
Yeah. That's just hit 25k, I think, in terms of views. So the clips on there doing really, really well. And Twitter as well. There is informative kind of quotes and posts on there. So just kind of a bundle of three there. If you do want to drop us a follow, I know quite a few people have subscribed to the channel, which is really, really grateful for that. We're nearly at 15,000 strong. So that's the silver lining, I suppose. We've still got support and we've got people tuning in and commenting, and it's really, really nice. So especially given the state of the club at the minute. So appreciate all of you guys, and me and Sam will see you tomorrow. Take